Where are you from?
California, the Bay Area.
What was life like growing up in California?
Growing up, I could say, me personally, I feel like I stayed out here longer than I stayed out west, so it's more of it's a mix between the two, you know. Growing out west, you know, it's a lot of diversity, so, you know, you're around a whole bunch of different cultures, a whole bunch of different food, different mindsets, and then, you know, to come to the South, you know, they kind of had like one way of thinking, one way of moving, you know, you either this or are you that, and so like that was a big adjustment, but California kind of made me versatile where I can just hang anywhere, be anywhere, and I'm good. And then like down here, they kind of gave me a lot of game though, as far as how can I say? I ain't gonna lie, on the hustler tip, Atlanta really helped me. You get what I'm saying?
At what age did you move from California to Georgia?
What age did I move? I say around 9 or 10.
Okay.
Yeah, around 9 or 10. And then I moved to Colorado first, trying to get away from the West because it was too expensive. Went back to LA, so I went down to LA, not back to LA because I left from the Bay. And then made my way out here, went to Florida, Fort Lauderdale for a minute. I think stayed in like Lakeview and Fort Lauderdale, and then came up here to Atlanta. And then it's just been ever since, you know. I stepped out really, you know, majority of my time on the north side, you know. They hate Gwinnett County, but when I tell you, well, Gwinnett reminded me a lot of like home because of the diversity, the Asians, the Spanish, you get what I'm saying, the Caribbeans, not even the Caribbeans, but just different kind of black people, you feel me? So yeah, I always rep that note, throw that note for, you feel me? Don't play, because if I'm over there, that shit real.
Facts. Were you an artistic child?
Was I artistic? Yeah, I used to write a lot. I remember I had a teacher that she bought me a book and she told me straight up my whole life story. She said, hey, he has a gift with writing, he has a gift with artistic things, but she said that he probably gonna give it up once he, you know, start liking girls. And, you know, that's exactly what happened. You know, I got derailed as soon as you know, my nuts started down throbbing. It was like, oh shit, fuck this.
Okay. And so at what point did you start making music?
When I started making music, I used to perform music at like school plays. They used to always just try to push me in front of a stage and just perform other artists, usually old school, you know, like the Temptations, you know what I'm saying, the OJ, stuff like that. But when I actually started making music, I think it's when I first heard like Tupac. I started listening to Tupac a lot. Because, you know, he reminded me of myself, you know, just because of thick eyebrows, you know, everything. I just thought I looked like, I thought that was my dad for a minute. So, like, I used to listen to his music, and, like, I used to just write poetry at first. So I used to write a lot of poetry and make them sound like raps, say them over raps. So I say when I moved out this way, because it was a disconnect, so I say around like 10, you know what I'm saying, around 10. I know I left Cali officially like 9. And then just back and forth to Cali and shit. But I remember, like 10.
When you, I know Tupac lived out in Oakland. When you say like you thought he was your father, were you joking or?
I was dead ass.
Okay.
I say a lot of crazy shit. I used to think my dad was half wolf, you know what I'm saying? Because I was always hairy and shit. But nah, like I resonated with Tupac because I just had thick ass eyebrows. Like I have the biggest eyebrows.
Wait, but you got the hair now though, right?
What do you mean?
You got hair.
Oh yeah, I got hair now.
I ain't got my glasses on.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, so were you ever bald with the?
I always had a low cut. I always kept a buzz. You know what I'm saying? So like I always had the low cut, thick ass eyebrows. I'm just like, oh, that's my dad right there. You know what I'm saying? Because my dad wasn't present in my life. You know, he did live with us in the beginning, and then he just dipped. So I had big issues, and that's when I started writing for real, because I was just young and hurt.
How old were you then?
Right, the leave when we left around 9. Yeah, that's the reason why we left, because they split. So that was it.
Do you feel like the split up sort of contributed to your want to do art, or?
I use it as a tool to actually get out emotions, because I've always had issues with expressing myself. In actuality, I'll be around you like everything's all good, and inside I'm contemplating ending it all, you know what I'm saying, type vibes, you feel me? So like, you know, I've never really pushed myself to that point. I never got to that point for real, but I always thoughts in my head, you know what I'm saying, always dealing with mental stuff as far as just questioning life and just how I felt about stuff. So music was my way of actually expressing that and getting it out. And I've always just used writing as a tool to express how I felt, because even like in relationships, because I can't say it, I have issues actually saying it at that present moment. So I just go off of, hey, let me write her a letter, let me write her a poem, whatever, and then they be so in love with that. So that's why I use it as a tool.
Yeah. At what point did you drop your first song? Like, how old were you?
How old was I?
Yeah.
How old was I when I dropped my first song? I know I was in my teenage years, so I was probably around 15, and really it was just because my homeboy, I always hung with older people, you know what I'm saying? I always thought I was older. I didn't think the same as people my age, and I didn't like what they was into. They was into like lame stuff, so I always hung around older people. And of course, you know what I'm saying, everybody, you black, we mess with music, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like playing basketball. And so, yeah, I remember he was just like, man, come on, get in the studio with me, get in the studio. Every time I be over his house, he always trying to get me to box, work out, or, you know, in the studio. So I'm just like, all right. And I just hopped on one of his songs, and then I just kept doing that. And I was just like, oh, I like this. You know what I'm saying? This is actually fun, just to be able to create something with your voice and create a vibe. So I say around like 15, 16.
Did he keep rapping?
He actually stopped, you know. He from South Carolina. I think he from like Columbia, South Carolina. And I remember her name DC. Shout out to DC, man. That's still my homeboy. Even though we don't speak like that, that's still my homeboy. Yeah. But yeah, he kind of had some issues too, you know. Single mother household, you know, stepfather in his life, but you know, he's still dealing with whatever he was dealing with. So he kind of fell back on it. A lot of people I know that was around his age either got locked up, you know, other shit, you know what I'm saying? You know how that goes. So a lot of people usually fall back from it, you know. Me personally, I just kept it pushing. I kept doing it.
Yeah. What's been the biggest challenge so far on your music journey?
The biggest challenge on the music journey, I'm gonna keep it real with you, is finding the passion to keep going, because it is very discouraging. Me personally, I've always had this issue. If everybody likes it and wants to do it, I don't want to do it, right? And I remember I quit making music in like 2012, and I just said, fuck it, I'm back out here, you know what I'm saying? So I went out there, crashed out, got me like 7 years, got out from the 7 years, and then like everybody I know that still knew me and stuff, when I would call home, they're just like, hey man, we got a studio for you, you know what I'm saying? Are we making a studio, we making beats, we doing this? I'm just like, man, I gave up on that, you know what I'm saying? And so when I got out in 2019, and I went to go record with them because they just kept begging me to come to the studio. And I did that, kept it pushing, and found the love for it again. But like consistently, I'm always caught up with man, everybody a rapper, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody got there make music. So it's just like trying to get past that mental stump of saying it don't matter if everybody do music. Just do what you want to do, you know what I'm saying? Make music how you want to make it. And if it's your passion for real, and you're not just doing it because it's trendy, you know what I'm saying? Pour your all into it and you might get some results from it. So that's been my biggest issue. Everything else I can deal with it because I've been everywhere. I've been up and down, all over this bitch, you feel me?
So you mentioned like you went away for 7 years. Can you like talk about a little bit about what was happening in your life around the time that you went away, and like what was going on in your head, because you were doing music before, right?
Yeah, I was actually doing music. People, it's the same. You say what you saying? My bad.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I was doing music before, and I know a lot of people when they found out that I did music, because like I told you before, I'm kind of private. I love my privacy. I love it. I do not want to get that up, but you have to in this lane. Yeah, I was doing music, and like every now and then I'll spit something. I'll rap to somebody I know that's close and personal, and they'll try to introduce me to somebody, try to get me in the studio. And so the question was, okay, yeah, basically I was in between doing that, but it wasn't serious to me. It was just something that I could do. You know, writing has always been a gift. I learned later on that, okay, yeah, I can transfer this writing into audio, you know what I'm saying? So, okay, yeah, I can rap, that's cool. But like, it never was something that I looked at as a career. Like, I want to be the biggest rapper, you know, I want to be the biggest artist, you know? And then finally, at that moment, just by not taking it serious, I just stuck with what made money and what made sense at that moment. And that was just anything that's making me money and keeping me independent, keeping me out, you know, my mama house, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, whether it's robbing, selling dope, whatever it is, pimping, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what my mindset was. It was like, this ain't making me no money right now, so why would I care about it?
Yeah. How did going away change your outlook on life, if at all?
It made me sit with myself. It made me face myself and dig deep. I was stuck with myself for 7 years. You know, I wasn't one of them prisoners that was trying to get a phone and trying to be, you know, on Instagram and Facebook trying to reach out to everybody. Like, I literally was just like, I don't want to think about the outside because that makes time slow. So I'm gonna just stay here and just become better. So like, I was just working out more, reading more, basically staying to myself, doing stuff that I love, you know, just to pass time. So I start drawing again. You know what I'm saying? I ain't drew in like a long time, so I start drawing again. And then like, but rapping, that just wasn't I wasn't rapping in there. You know, I always have like homeboys be up in there like, oh yeah, you know, they be rapping, beating on their chest, all that stuff. But I'm just like, nah, I'm good. I made like a few songs while I was in there, and that was it. And then, yeah, really, it was more of like self-reflection. I was stuck with myself. And I used to go to the hole a lot because I did not fuck with the system. Like, I do not play about no police trying to put their hands on me, trying to tell me go to my room. You know what I'm saying? All that, oh no. I mean, you know, I rarely had issues with other inmates. It was always the police. I literally almost lost my freedom fighting them. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I spent a lot of time to myself and had to learn how to be with myself. And once I understood that, I was just like, anything I put my mind to, once I figured out myself and had to understand myself, anything I put my mind to, I can accomplish. It's just gonna take hard work, dedication, and pressure. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to apply pressure on it and actually like believe in it and actually put the work in. You know, so that's where I'm at right now. It's just like, put the work in, don't worry about the results gonna come. And I got that mentality from prison because it was just like, you just stuck with yourself. You know, I ain't used drugs, I ain't used nothing to try to escape. I stayed right where I was at, mentally and physically, you know. Sometimes I would travel off in my head to like the beach or something, you feel me? But nah, I felt that because I got myself there. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna feel this so I don't come back.
I noticed that like a lot of people who come from prison, they come out, like they've been working out or they've been reading a lot. Do you feel like people in the society may need to go like sit down for a while to like study and read? And because I'm like, yo, we got some pretty slow people. Let me not say that, but I feel like a lot of us need to just sit with ourselves, maybe read a book. You know what I'm saying?
To be honest, I feel like I think the best thing for you to realize how silly the stuff you tripping off of out here, the best thing to do is to get away for a minute. You can literally put yourself in a box or put yourself in a situation where you actually just reflect on what you need, not what you want. Anywhere, you know what I'm saying? Though I will only say that it's only hard out here because the consistent pressure of needing to pay the rent, you know what I'm saying, pay the car insurance, you know what I'm saying, pay the phone bill, you know, pay mortgage, whatever it is, you know, that's the only issue where I find, yeah, it's kind of hard sometimes to actually get away because they keep you in a consistent rat race where you just, I gotta pay this off, this just broke down, this just, you know, who just had some trouble. So it's like, it is harder out here. I noticed that my defense and my armor, it kind of gets chipped away out here sometimes, you get what I'm saying, especially just with the stress and just trying to do a lot of things at one time. But I think it's good to do that just periodically. You don't have to do it for 7 years, you know what I'm saying? That if you could accomplish that, then yeah, do it. But if you can do that for like 15 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, you'll be much further than the next person that's just, I just gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. Like, nah, you gotta take time to step back. Like, bring back naps, bring back meditation, you know, which they are doing. So I salute all the brothers and sisters for doing that too, because that's real. That's what you need, you feel me?
What inspires you to keep making music after all these years?
I love to create. I love to try new things. And I love to just, that's my thing, I said it first. I love to create a vibe. I like vibes, you get what I'm saying? So whatever mood I'm in, whatever thing I'm going through, I just create a vibe. And it's like, I put it there. So like, music more to me is like, therapeutic because, like I said, I have issues actually communicating my stuff or how I actually feel in real time, real life. And so if I feel a way about anything, it could be somebody cut me off and I wanted to do something bad. You know what I'm saying? It could be my girl tripping and, you know, we going through rough times right now. It could be anything. I'ma just, let me write that. I don't feel that no more. That feeling's over there. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I express myself 100% because I make sure I go into detail about how I feel exactly. Like I don't try to sound hard. I don't try to sound too cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, if I feel the lowest of the lowest, I'm going to write that and I'm going to say it. And it's just like, it's like almost like therapy. You know how you go to a therapist and say everything that's on your mind because you know they ain't going to say nothing to you. It's just mine is, if it sounds good and I approve of it and I'm okay, I'll put it out to the world. I don't care how they view it, judge it, whatever. It's just like, this is more for me at this moment. Certain songs, a lot of songs to be honest, so.
Are you independent or are you signed to a label?
I'm independent, but I'm messing with distributors, you know.
Okay.
So I'm into distribution. I'm also just linking with people that want to move. You know what I'm saying? That's my whole thing. Like if you want to move, no matter what lane you in, if you got a food business, if you my homeboy Cam, shout out to Camtron, he writes books and he acts and all that stuff. People in motion inspire me, so I try to just stay around people that inspire me, and we just kind of always work with each other. It's always like something we can do to help each other, and so it's like a mutually beneficial relationship. And you know, we just bounce off each other and say, hey, I got a show over here. Hey, well, you know, such and such do this over here. You know, oh, his home got clothing over here. So majority, just to answer your question, I am mostly independent. Like everything is coming for me right now because I'm trying to build my value and I'm trying to make sure I understand as much as I can about this game before I actually get 100% in it. Not saying I'm not in it. It's just saying like I want to have a little bit of more control of what I'm presenting to the world.
Okay. And so would you say that like you're independent for the rest of your career and no major label, or like what would you do if a major label approached you?
A major label would have to, they would have to be real with me. If I was to get with a major label, they would have to be 100% with me like, hey, this is the deal. The only reason why, you know, this is like this is because we're going to push this to everybody. You get what I'm saying? That sneaky stuff, you know, that all that puts you on a contract just so I can just put you on the shelf, all that, I'm not with that. I'm only trying to do business with people that like do good business. Like I understand business shouldn't be personal, but it is. So at the end of the day, if you're gonna do business, I know we both need to win off of this. And whoever's doing more probably wants more of the pie, right? I'm perfectly fine with that. Just don't fuck me. You get what I'm saying? Like just do not fuck me over. And we good, because then I'm gonna take it personal. I'm gonna understand this business, and then that's gonna put this thing in a whole different perspective. You feel me? So that's my mindset with it. Label be cool as long as they real, you know.
Facts. Has your music career caused any conflicts in your personal life?
Most definitely. Most definitely. It's a time consumer because all day, every day, my mind is on bettering my craft, my music, my brand, you get what I'm saying? Figuring out everything I need to figure out about what I need and what I don't need. And so my mind is consistently just racing with thoughts and indulging in consistent information from just everywhere, just on the topics that I need to know and some topics that I didn't know I need to know. And yeah, it affects a lot. You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of people feel neglected. Some people, you know, I don't even check in with like that no more. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm busy. I'm doing stuff. So relationships can get very rocky because you got to put yourself out there, and they could not like who likes you. You know what I'm saying? They might not, you know, like, especially, you know, I'm in a relationship, let's just say a lot of girls start to say, oh, look, you look handsome, this is that and the third. Well, yeah, even though she understands that I'm in this relationship and I'm not trying to have sex with none of them, I'm just cool with them. You know, they fuck with me, so I fuck with them, right? I'm not even saying cool with them, but like, let's say, they call them fans, but I feel like anybody that fuck with what I got going on, that's like family, you feel me? So like, I'm like, shit, you fuck with what I got going on. What you got going on? I'm trying to support you, right? And let's just say you reciprocate the energy, you know what I'm saying? It can look bad on your relationship. You know, I might have a video with a girl in it, you know, just because this girl can portray the role that I need her to portray, you know, and that might have issues in the household or whatever. So, like, yeah, that family, because they don't get to see you all the time like that. Friends, because, you know, they might think, oh, he acting Hollywood, or he trying to act brand new because, you know, he got such and such views on YouTube, or he's doing interviews, or, you know what I'm saying, or he's doing shows now. It's just like, that shit can get lame, man. Yeah. But other than that, that's pretty much what comes with it.
You mentioned like doing interviews and doing shows, and I've been checking out your profile. It seems like you're quite busy. How do you find the time as an independent rapper who also has, it seems like, a personal life? Like, how do you find the time to work on your dreams and then also maybe balance that other stuff?
That is a great question, because like balance is my biggest thing. I learned that mentality in prison, you know what I'm saying? It's just like the good and the yin and the yang, you know what I'm saying? It's just like you gotta take the good with the bad. You can't just have one way. Any extreme is bad, right? Yeah. And so it's a juggling act, you know what I'm saying? Me personally, anytime I got a chance to work on music or work on the career or figure out, you know, where I can send off my music or where I can perform, I'm gonna take it, you know. And any chance I got time to show some love to somebody I ain't seen in a minute, I ain't check in on, you know, I'm gonna do that. And it's just like juggling from there, you know. I feel like the longer you do that and the more you get deeper into what you say you want to do, it becomes easier, because then you understand, you know, how much this person needs and how much this thing you're doing needs and all that. So like, that's all I'm seeing it as. It's just a juggling act, and whoever can juggle the best can have a lot of things, you know. And whatever falls off, I'm just not juggling well, so I need to get better. You feel me?
If you had to choose between the two, fame or money, which would you choose?
I would choose money, because to me, like I said, I'm very private. So fame is like death to me, you know what I'm saying? If I can't move and just, because I like to be chill, I'll be sweatpants, bummy, hair ain't been retwisted. Like, don't let this little shit I put together fool you. Like, I love to just be laid back where nobody even looks at me, because they're like, oh, that nigga dirty. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like fame would kill me, you know. I'm more of a songwriter than an artist. I don't want to be the main attraction. I'd rather write for the main attraction. I'd rather produce and sound engineer for the main attraction. You know, it's just so people can understand what I bring to the table. I'm just putting myself out there right now. But, you know, they go through my catalog, they check my rap sheet and see everything I got going on. They gonna know, oh, he's serious about this, and maybe I should work with Holmes, and then we can set something up where, hey, y'all be the star. You feel me? I'll write the script. You know what I'm saying? I'll make sure I orchestrate I'll make sure I keep the orchestra going. You know what I'm saying? All that good stuff. You know, I can even be on your A&R type shit. I can be your manager type shit. But, you know, money would put me in a position to help a lot of people. You know, that's my goal. My goal is to get a lot of money using what I love to do and what I can do. Use that to get the money, so then I can give back and help a lot of people, you know. And that might sound cheesy or cliche, but honestly speaking, it's for selfish reasons. I noticed that happy people don't go out their way to just be crazy, you know what I'm saying? Happy people don't want to murder nobody, you know what I'm saying? Happy people don't want to rob nobody. Happy people, you know, ain't out here doing drugs, you feel me? Ain't out here trying to snort up, you know, everything or shoot up everything, right? So I'm just thinking, hey, I get the money, because a lot of people get the money and just shit on everybody. I'm like, if I get the money, I can motherfucking open up shit, set up shit for people, you know, maybe even make a whole city where like it's like a paradise, and we motherfucking make sure everybody just good. If you live in this city or you live in this country, whatever, I can get how much money I get. You good, you know what I'm saying? Just to have that one, like a Wakanda type shit, you feel me? So that's how I see it. If I get the money, I could help out a lot more things, you get what I'm saying? I could do a lot more things for people than I could do at this current moment. Fame would do nothing for me. It would drive me crazy.
I mean, it may bring you money, but you'd be in a house with it.
Yeah, I'll be stuck. I'll be in a bubble, because fame just puts you in you can't go nowhere without, hey, that's that BG Fooley right there, that BG. I don't want that because I'm going to get mad. I might swing on somebody that actually fuck with me, you know, and I'm going to lose my support. I might feel paranoid and, you know, might have to do something worse than swinging. And then next, you know, I'm back in jail or prison. I'm like, man, that'll be the worst thing for my personality, the worst thing for me.
So how did you come up with your name, BG Fooley?
BG Fooley, man. BG Fooley, man, I had like a whole bunch of names. The hardest thing for me was to come up with a name because I'm like, I don't know how I want to present myself, you know, with this art thing. So it came down with Fooley first. Fooley was just the easiest because, you know, I get that a lot. Just, oh, you a fool, bro, woo-de-woo. You know, I think that's a real common, like, street name, to be honest with it, right? And so, yeah, I took Fooley because I'm like, okay, that's just a name. Everyone, you know, call it Fooley. I don't really hear too many people name just Fooley, right? And then I found somebody while I started making music and putting music out that his name was also Fooley too. So I was like, man, I got to add something else on it or I got to change it. And so, like, I got deep into, like, what is my personality, right? And when I started thinking, I was like, man, I'm more like a black gothic kid. You get what I'm saying? I'm more like an alternative black guy. You feel me? It's like I'm not too this way, I'm not too that way. You get what I'm saying? Like I never could fit into this crowd 100%. I could never fit into this crowd 100%. I'm kind of like in that middle, you know what I'm saying? And so like, it was just like, and then my style, you know, I love dark clothing. I love alternative looks, you know, alternative things. You know, it might not necessarily be like spikes and a choker, you know what I'm saying, with some painted black nails. Not knocking nobody to do that. But it's just different. It's alternative, right? So I was just like, you know what? I went with black goth for a minute and then I changed it to, let me just add both of them together because Fooley is like my fun personality. And then black goth is my serious, you know what I'm saying? This is how I really feel. This is how my mind thinks. This is usually my shadow. I call it the shadow. This is usually like my inner darkest thoughts, you know, and how I move in life. And so it's just like pure expression. You know, these two characters, these two names are actually one person. That's like humanity. I love to express my humanity in music. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that. Earlier you mentioned when we were talking about the money, you mentioned getting the money so that you could help people. But I want to sort of kind of get specific. What is your ultimate aspiration with your music? Like, what are the things that you see yourself doing in the future? What
I see myself doing in the future with my music?
Yeah, with your music, with anything that branches off from your music, anything.
I feel like music is to bring people together, right? And I'm slowly getting to that form where I'm starting to make that kind of music where it's just not me just crying about how I feel inside or, you know, talking about all the pain and all the bad stuff I did, you know what I'm saying? So it's more like, the music is like, it's like weed. It just bring everybody together, you know. You smoke, okay, bet, you know, that shit, you know, let's match, whatever, right? That's what music is to me. It's like the collector. And then after it's the collection, it's just like, okay, well, let's do something with these numbers. You know what I'm saying? Let's actually organize. Let's set something up for each other. So it's more like, me personally, I see people like Dr. Umar and Akon, Nipsey Hussle. They was doing stuff that I'm trying to do in different levels. And so that's what I'm looking at. I'm just watching their moves and seeing, okay, we use music as a tool to get to our people, right? And then we use the resources that we all pull together. You know what I'm saying? If you're smart and you're a good person or you ain't a greedy person, to actually set up things where they can actually benefit. And it's not just, oh, y'all just buy my album. It's like, nah, y'all gonna win too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you invest in me, you invest in yourself. So that's where I see it as. My end goal is to do what Akon did. If not own a city, own a country. You know what I'm saying? I want to own a country. I'm gonna keep it real with you. You probably think I want some black power stuff, but I could sleep.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Be on that.
You know what I'm saying? It's more, yeah, I want something in Africa. You know, everybody else, you know, they taking stuff. They took stuff from, you know, the land. You feel me? I want to get back. You know what I'm saying? I want to better that side up. Yeah. You know.
Where did you get your sort of like knowledge of like self in Africa from?
It's more my mother. I always I have to attribute that to her because my mom was always sliding me books. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know why, but I always read them. You know what I'm saying? I do know why. Because I got kicked out of every school I've ever been to in my life.
For real?
So I lacked a lot of education that kids my age were getting. And so I felt slower and behind. So I was just like, I need anything I can get. I need to be learning. But I need to learn what's going on because they learning and I'm just back and forth gift center, you know, about to go to juvenile, all that kind of stuff. So I was just like, I'm learning some bad shit. I need to also have some kind of information or something else. So I attribute that to the fact that I've been kicked out of every public school because instead of me just knowing the curriculums that they was teaching, you know what I'm saying, I kind of taught. After my mom gave me the direction, I kind of just like taught myself, like I'm interested in this. I'm actually interested in this. I should get a book on this because I'm reading. I read, you feel me? So that's what reading and my mother just for sending me direction. Like, hey, check this person out, Marcus Garvey, you know, W.E.B. Du Bois, you know what I'm saying? Like the Soul of Black Folk, all that stuff, just sending me stuff. I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna take the alley-oop, you know what I'm saying?
For someone watching this who aspires to do what you do, what advice would you have for them?
I would say find out what you truly love to do, not what's trendy, not what you see everybody else doing, but find out what you truly love to do and put 100% effort and 100% focus behind it and see where that takes you. Because the doors from you finding out what you actually love and finding out what you actually, you know, will give 100% focus to, the doors that they will open and the people that they'll put you around will actually put you in whatever direction you're supposed to be in life. And that's what I learned, you know, from just doing music alone. I've been able to meet so many different people that like come from so many different walks of life that I didn't meet when I was, you know, doing the average shit, you know what I'm saying? Trying to sell some dope, trying to rob niggas, you know what I'm saying? Running in people's houses. That shit brought me a select few of people that only get a select few results. And I got them results, you know, luckily I'm still here. So, yeah, do that. Make sure you focus 100% on whatever you find out that you love to do and find out and then attack it 100%. Don't think about nothing else. Don't worry about, if you're a girl, don't worry about no guys. If you're a guy, don't worry about no girl. You know, make sure you respect and love your family if you're still around them. If you're not, hey, focus. Because the quicker and the longer, not the quicker you focus on that and just stay on it, and the longer you stay on that, the faster it comes. The more that you have these little distractions and, oh, I'm going to go to the club today, I'm going to go travel today, oh, I want to go parlay on this yacht or whatever, that stuff derail you. And it's just like you taking detours to success when all you had to do was do this for like 6 months and you would have been like a billionaire. You would have been able to do everything you was detouring to do. You would have been able to do that like for a year straight, you know what I'm saying? But now you only could do that for 2 days, and now it's going to take you longer to get to your path. So that's all I can say about that.